This is ACIM, Lesson 114, Review Lessons 97-98. Welcome, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today as we continue breaking down these really fascinating concepts. If you've been following along, you already know that the source material we're exploring has this totally unique way of challenging how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. Today, we're looking at a specific review lesson, which is basically designed to take two earlier profound ideas and really cement them into our daily consciousness. Our goal today is to look at these concepts, strip away any of that confusing jargon, and see exactly what the text is actually asking us to practice.
To firmly anchor us in today's material, let's just clearly state the two review lessons we're covering. The first statement from Lesson 97 is simply, I am Spirit. And the second statement from Lesson 98 is, I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation. Now, depending on your background, those statements might feel deeply comforting, or they might sound a bit traditional, maybe even a little complex. But don't worry, as we'll see, the underlying psychology of these two sentences is incredibly liberating, regardless of how you approach them. We're going to look closely at what these mean in a highly practical, everyday sense.
Okay, let's dive into this and look at our agenda. First, unpacking I am Spirit. Second, your part in the plan. Third, the daily practice schedule. And finally, our final review.
All right, Section 1, Unpacking I Am Spirit, Lesson 97.
So the original morning and evening review text states, I am the Son of God. No body can contain my spirit, nor impose on me a limitation God created not. But let's look at the universal meaning of those words. What this text is essentially arguing is that you have a completely boundless inner essence. The physical world, with all its hurdles, its stresses, its physical boundaries, none of that actually defines your true, limitless self. The source material is asking you to recognize that the limitations you feel daily, whether they're physical, emotional, or situational, are not your ultimate reality. At your core, you are something entirely limitless.
So the crucial point is this definition of spirit. Within the context of this material, spirit isn't just some spooky or ghostly concept, it is literally defined as your boundless inner essence, completely free from physical limitations. When the text asks you to repeat, I am Spirit, it's asking you to actively disidentify with your bodily aches, your worldly anxieties, and your perceived personal limits. It's an exercise in remembering that your true nature is untouched by the chaos of the physical world. Everyone, according to this text, possesses this limitless inner nature. And recognizing it, well, that's the first major step in today's practice.
Moving on to Section 2, Your Part in the Plan, Lesson 98.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we can translate the original text. It asks, what can my function be but to accept the Word of God, who has created me for what I am and will forever be? When we talk about your function or accepting the Word, the text is really just talking about accepting your true, authentic self. It's about looking at that limitless essence we just talked about and saying, yes, that is exactly who I am. The universal meaning here is all about finding peace by embracing your authentic nature rather than constantly fighting against it. I mean, we spend so much of our lives trying to be something we aren't, right? Or believing we're small and limited. Your function, your only real job here is to just stop fighting and accept the boundless nature you've literally always had.
And this brings us to a word that carries a lot of historical baggage, salvation. In this specific framework, salvation simply means ultimate inner peace and freedom from the illusion of limitation. So when the lesson says, I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation, it basically translates to, I will accept my role in achieving ultimate inner peace. And what is your role? Just accepting who you truly are. It's beautifully simple. By recognizing your spirit, you free your mind from the illusion of limitation. And that freedom is exactly what the text calls salvation.
All right, Section 3, the daily practice schedule, putting it into action.
This timeline shows the rhythm the text prescribes for your day. You have a morning session, which is a full review. Then, throughout the day, you have a check-in at the top of every single hour. But it doesn't stop there. There's also a check-in at the bottom of the hour, the half-hour mark. Finally, your day concludes with an evening full review. The whole goal of this timeline is constant, gentle course correction for your mind. Instead of letting the world dictate your mood for 8 straight hours, you're deliberately interrupting your day every 30 minutes to recenter yourself.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what you need to do at each of those intervals. In the morning, you read the full text for both 97 and 98, that longer paragraph we reviewed earlier. You do that just once to kick off your day. Then on the hour, so let's say 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., you pause and say just the first phrase, I am Spirit.
On the half hour, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, you pause and say the second phrase, I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation. You literally just alternate these every 30 minutes throughout your waking day. Then in the evening, right before you sleep, you read the full text for both lessons one last time. It's like a rhythmic, repeating pendulum swinging back and forth between this is what I am and this is what I will do.
Let's wrap things up with Section 4, Final Review, Closing Thoughts.
Here they are, the exact statements as written in the source text, side by side. 97, I am Spirit, and 98, I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation. By committing these two simple sentences to memory today, you're equipping yourself with a really profound tool. That first statement reminds you of your unchangeable, limitless reality. The second statement is your active commitment to that reality, letting go of the struggle and allowing yourself to experience ultimate inner peace. Together, they form a complete thought. I am limitless, and I accept the peace that comes with knowing that.
So, I want to leave you with this question based entirely on what we've unpacked today. Will you accept your limitless nature today? When the traffic backs up, when the emails pour in, when the physical world just demands your attention, will you take that moment on the hour and the half hour to remember what you truly are? It's a practice, and today is absolutely the perfect day to start. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this text. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want to see more structured explanations of complex source material like this, please take a quick second to like and subscribe to the channel. It really supports what we do here. Until next time, keep learning, stay focused, and have an absolutely wonderful day.